We welcome you back to our live coverage here on CBS News Texas. I'm Doug Dunbar. The explosion that took place here 10 years ago today. As we look back and reflect, West still today is home to about 2,500 people in all. Tight-knit community. Families have lived here for decades, and that includes one family who we spoke with that has been deeply affected by what happened in a way that they could have never imagined.
It was just unimaginable that it did that much damage to the whole town.
But in the decades since that awful day, the once demolished playground now welcomes kids again. West Middle School and High School have been rebuilt. What time can't replace are the vivid memories of that night.
The building was pretty inflamed at that time. I mean, it was really rolling.
David Mailer is a McLennan County constable. On that night in 2013, he was also a volunteer firefighter, just arriving to help fight the inferno.
The blast got me from this side. It blew this eardrum out completely, and this one, it was shredded.
Mailer says he woke up in a ditch, soaking wet since the blast split open a nearby fire truck.
This was the only part of my T-shirt was left, and my jeans were shredded.
What he saw next, he says, is as clear now as the night it happened.
When I got up, I could see 3 bodies close to me, and one of them was alive. They brought a backboard, and I helped carry him out.
15 people died as a result of the blast. Mailer knew most of them. To this day, he has trouble explaining how the tragedy changed him.
I don't know. I don't know.
How it changed his family.
It's just, you never want to live through it again, but I don't know.
Jean Mailer is David's mom. She was at home when the plant exploded.
It was just like a sonic boom or something, you know. And then we looked around and saw what all the damage that it had done to the house, you know, bricks laying everywhere. Of course, all this insulation was all falling, it was all on the floor.
Describing the damage to her home is easier, honestly, than describing the damage to her own children.
David, he doesn't really want to talk about it. You know, I don't know how y'all got him to talk about it.
All 3 of Jean's sons were in West that night.
This one's Kevin.
Son Kevin was also a volunteer firefighter in West and ran to the fire station to get gear.
He didn't get hurt, but he's definitely doesn't like to talk about it either.
Michael was the oldest brother.
That's Mike. He made it, so he's got to have more pictures in there.
Michael was parked near the plant when the blast went off.
When he came home, there was no windows in my car. He was barefooted. He was trying to walk on the glass, and his feet were bleeding.
Mike Mailer's visible injuries eventually healed. It's the invisible wounds that didn't.
He died a year later. He couldn't get over it. I went over one morning to pick him up to take him to the doctor, and I found him dead. And he was so depressed about it, you know.
A painful reminder of what time and money could not fix. A decade later, damaged homes are repaired.
This was the kitchen right back here where I have my office now.
New homes are being built.
A lot of things have happened since then.
New families are moving in. But for the Mailers and some others in this resilient town, their eye on the future will forever include never letting go of memories past. So David Mailer, by the way, I want to let you know, he ended up winning the Star of Texas Award from the state of Texas for his actions that night. But Karen, when we think back and we reflect, it's 15 lives lost in the moment, right? 12 first responders, 3 people in town. But little did anybody really know what was going on for Jean Mailer with her son, obviously Mike, in that year before he ended up taking his own life.
Oh, it's just heartbreaking. And you know, she mentioned to you that she was impressed that you were able to get her son David to talk to you. And I understand that this is the family's first interview, isn't it, in 10 years?
It is. David's never talked to our knowledge, and he said as much to us. It was a simple knock at the door, and David Mailer kind of just in his own words saying, I think I'm ready to talk now. And it's been a decade, so much that they have been through. And again, tight-knit community. And everybody in this town who I spoke with said, David Mailer talked? He talked? And the answer was yes. And for David Mailer, and so many people who are in those kind of positions, Karen, I think you and I have both seen it over the years, when tragedy strikes, sometimes at whatever point people are ready, it does the heart a little bit of good to get it off your chest,
Yeah.
right?
Hopefully it is cathartic. Thank you so much, Doug.